Happiness, something that in, you know, today's society is, I would say, overly romanticized. And, you know, society, pushes this whole idea of you needing to be happy all the time, and if you're not happy at this moment, you need to be having this food and these supplements and doing this and all of that kind of stuff. And I reckon, and again, all of this stuff is my opinion and like my view, so don't take this with like a grain of salt, but I feel like it's all a bit of a gimmick, and it's kind of just there to sell a product. And the chase for happiness by many causes them to chase the wrong things and chase all this cheap dopamine, playing too many video games, doom scrolling, drinking too much, doing drugs, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it might solve the issue. You might be happy for a couple minutes, couple hours, maybe maybe even a couple of days, but ultimately it doesn't make you happy. It just kind of shifts you away from the bigger issue for a temporary amount of time. Then it comes back at you with brute force, and yeah, it hits you like a truck, and you get this whole surge of sadness and anger and all that kind of stuff. And you see, I'd say, more and more in today's society. People, more and more teenagers, I would say, are doing all this kind of cheap pleasure, vaping, drinking, all of it gives them their happiness, but they don't actually, feel happy internally. They kind of just, ignore the whole issue, and then they wonder, when they don't have these things, why they're not actually happy. And I reckon the thing is that people don't have a purpose, and I know I made a video maybe a couple weeks ago, potentially a month ago, about like things that have made me happier, but the biggest thing that people misunderstand is that happiness is not something that will be there with you all of the time. That's just unrealistic, but society loves to push this message of being happy all the time. And yeah, it's good to be a positive human being, and showing sympathy and helping others in need. That's great, but the whole happiness aspect is incredibly unrealistic, and it causes people to again chase all this cheap dopamine, and which probably makes it even worse for their happiness. And life isn't about constantly being happy, because it's just, I'd say it's impossible, to be honest. And you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your times where you're incredibly sad, your girlfriend broke up with you or whatever, you didn't get that place in a competition, all of that kind of stuff. But then you either let that overcome you or you overcome it, and that's what will really bring joy to your life, not chasing it, because that chasing is just going to make you do all this stupid stuff that's just going to rot your life, and just cause you to backpedal and go in the opposite direction. And your progress might stunt in whatever kind of field you're going or whatever. But the thing is, the main issue that people have, which is causing them to, you know, chase all this happiness and stuff, is they don't know what actually excites them. They don't, you know, go out in the world. They don't like go for just like walks by themselves. It's a wonderful day today. They don't go out, or they don't, you know, experience life. They don't have a purpose. That's the main issue, I would say. They don't have a true purpose for why they exist, what they bring to the table in society. They kind of just exist, you know, wear the same thing that everybody's wearing, do what everybody else is doing, and hope that people notice them. But in reality, they're kind of just an NPC, you know, they're the same as everybody else, and you're pretty much just a copy and pasted version of every single other human being that's like you. So, you know, you don't really stand out in the way, and you know, people don't really have, like, they don't really know what they want to do, and that can be as simple as, you know, you love helping people, or I love being a teacher, I love being a cop, all that kind of stuff. But people choose to, you know, ignore this because it's hard, and instead chase the things that, you know, everybody can obtain, you know, alcohol and drugs and all that kind of stuff. And it's really just a matter of identifying, you know, why you are on planet Earth. You know, are you there to teach people maths? Are you there to, you know, be a banker? You know, it's people love to, you know, overcomplicate this stuff, and, you know, sell you a whole list of things which won't actually make you happier. But the two or three, the things that, you know, about happiness that people misunderstand is that, one, it's impossible to be happy all the time, because that's just not how life is. You know, you're gonna have your ups and downs. Two, it kind of, you know, happens subconsciously. The thing you want to chase is the stuff that, like, actually excites you. And again, that's to an extent. Like, you don't want to, like, the thing that excites you is cocaine, and you always snort cocaine all the time. Like, that's not what I'm preaching. And, you know, three, have, like, an actual purpose. Like, what do you bring to other people, and what do you truly enjoy doing? That's kind of the 3 points on happiness that I would say people need to understand more. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that video. It's a beautiful day here, enjoying a nice walk in the park. Better read my book. What is it? Notes from Underground and The Double by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Gonna enjoy that and have a wonderful day.